It's time for the Albertville Aggie Coach Bert Browne Show. Every Tuesday night at 6, you can tune in to Power 107.5 with Aggie announcers Barry Galloway, John Gladden, and Keith Ball, live at Local Joes in Albertville. For the next hour, Aggie head coach Bert Browne will be joined by Aggie coaches and Albertville players, and we'll talk Aggie football. Now let's go live to Local Joes in Albertville here on Power 107.5.
And the playing of the national anthem here at Local Joes in downtown Albertville. Thank you for joining us. It's the Coach Bert Browne Show. We'll be talking Aggie football coming up for the next hour. If you're in the area, come on out and join us. Going to be here till 7. Keith Ball joining me. John Gladden will be here in just a few minutes, plus a lot of special guests. We do this every Tuesday from 6 to 7. Coach Browne, glad to have you with us again this week.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
And let's get right into we got some special guests joining us. I believe Superintendent Reeves will be joining us coming up later on this evening. Let's talk about the game last week. I tell you, not a win, but in my book, our book, a much better effort by the Aggies last week.
Yeah, I thought we played well. We are just so young in the offensive line. That's defensively, I thought we played really well. I mean, we gave up, the first touchdown. We're in man. And probably have said 150 times, if you're playing man, you don't peek in the backfield. No matter what happens, don't look in the backfield. And it's 3rd down and 6 from the 6-yard line. And we peek in the backfield, they throw a touchdown over our head. If we're doing what we're coached to do and told to do, they kick a field goal, and it's 3-0 instead of 7. So, things like that. But they run ISO and cut it back, and we've got the perfect call. Coach Martin called the perfect blitz to that backside for that play, and our end runs high, and the nickel runs high, and they create a giant gap. If they do what they're supposed to do and coached to do, they're flat right there, and we hit that ISO in the backfield for about a 3-yard loss. Instead, it's a 42-yard touchdown.
Right.
So there was things that we did, and I made a cut up Saturday morning. Showed the kids Sunday about let's look at these touchdowns and look at if we do the things that we're supposed to do. It's nothing that they did to us, and it's not a superhuman Herculean effort that you have to have there. It's just you've got to do what you've been coached to do and where you're supposed to be. And so they probably had 4 touchdowns there that if we just do just what we need to do, and nothing superhuman. Again, you don't have to be an SEC player to do it. There's 4 touchdowns, and not to say they wouldn't have scored at some point during that drive, but those kind of things, and we need to cut those out. But I felt like our kids really played hard and had a good ball game. We completed some passes. CJ had a very good game, and of course they've got a kid that's playing defensive end for them. That's probably going to possibly play in the NFL one day. I know he's going to play in the SEC. He's a good-looking kid. He's about 6'5", about 250, 260, and can move.
The score is 44-20, but with 10 minutes to go in the game, you're down to 10 points. So this game is closer than what the score shows. So that's still got to make you feel good. 10 minutes to go, and you're just down by 10 points.
Yeah, it did. And we like I say, just 1 or 2 things there. Mm-hmm. It's a 1-score ball game. And so, it's just one of those deals. We were in it. Our kids fought their butts off, and I was extremely proud of them.
We talked about, after the game and post game, who's got more guts than we've got, and kind of what, especially these juniors and seniors, what they've been through over the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and man, they just hang in there and they fight. Yeah. And they claw for everything they got. And, I had going back to eye discipline on a couple of big plays early on. When I was at Jacksonville State as a GA, Coach Wannabu was his name. He was from like North Wisconsin. He had the funniest accent, but he preached. He was our defensive backs guy. Preached eye discipline. If I heard the word eye discipline one time, I heard it a million times. Yeah. But you cut those two plays out early on, and I mean it's a tie ball game. We're playing for a win in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that's what we try to get our guys to realize, that we're close. Now everybody we're playing here in 7A football don't look like us. We don't look like them. They've got bigger kids, but our bigger kids are coming. They're in our 7th, 8th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, 10th grade. So I'm excited about that. But our kids fought their butts off.
Well, and I've noticed it. I've been here and coached here and been around for a while, and we have had a rash of last 4, 5, 6 years offensive linemen that have been a little undersized. Not saying they're not good ball players and they don't work their butts off, but back even going all the way back, Barry, to the 90s, Albertville was kind of known for having just big offensive linemen. We were big, and then right there in the mid 2014, 15, right through there, we had a really good offensive line that came through, really big guys, and it seems like we have been a little on the smaller side. But, that's the hand you're dealt. Those kids are working their tails off. And like you said, they don't look a lot like some of these 7A teams we're playing, but, man, they're working hard.
Yeah, and I'm proud of them for that. One thing we got to do up front offensively is stay on our blocks. You can't, we got some sophomores up there that want to just take 2 steps and kind of turn around. This isn't junior high, okay? You can't muscle people up and stop. You got to keep running. They're not going to leave that gap if you don't. So those are some of the challenges that we have right now, getting our young guys to understand that, you've got to try to bury that guy every play.
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping that, we're gradually learning those things and getting better at those things.
What about players' attitude? You put 20 points up. You played a close game. Can you sense any difference in the attitude?
I mean, it helps when you score some touchdowns. I mean, we scored 3 touchdowns. Our kicker, who we got to come out after the first week of the season. He's a soccer kid, and he had a soccer thing Friday night that he had planned for 5 months ago, to do, and so he had to be at that, and so we had to go for 2 every time,
right?
And so anyway, it was just one of those deals where our kids fought their butt off, and I was proud of them, and I think they felt pretty good about themselves, because that's a very athletic, good football team we played. Even though they're 0-3, the teams that beat them are very good.
Well, and reason they're 0-3, and you'll probably agree with this too, is they do have a problem with penalties, and they gave us some yards the other night. But man, as far as skill guys, and they got all kind of size. You talked about the guy playing defensive end. I think he's either an Ole Miss guy or going to Penn State somewhere.
Well, he's been offered, I think, Ole Miss and Penn State, and he'll get offered several more.
Yeah, and we're going to go and we're going to talk plenty about the offense, because we put some darn points up on the board and looked good the other night. I was going to talk defense. Hunter just walked in. Defensively, like I said, we gave up a couple big ones early on, but, man, after that we got stingy. I mean, we played really, really good. Christian Ramirez made some good plays. Yeah. He's a tough dude to move around at the point of attack and caused a fumble. And I don't know how Hunter's still making tackles over here. I think he had about 37 on the night. But the defense overall played really well.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, after we gave up those 2 touchdowns early, we kind of settled in. And, you hope that we learn from that kind of stuff, because like I say, there was a couple blown assignments there that shouldn't be blown, because, when you're playing man coverage, it's pretty easy. That guy, my high school coach used to say, if he goes to the bathroom, you follow him in there. I mean, wherever that guy goes, you go. And that's a simple concept, buddy. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that.
Yeah.
You know, that's your guy. You got him. Don't turn around, run with him. You know, so we've got to do things like that.
Looking back at the game, what players caught your attention, Coach? We've already mentioned a few.
Well, I mean, Hunter had a great game on defense. He was making plays, tackles. I think he had 11 tackles and really had a real good game defensively. He's kind of banged up. He's got an ankle that's bothering him. But he had a real good defensive game. And, you know, Talik Saint had a very good game on offense. He caught 2 touchdowns and did a good job. And he's getting better every week. So, you know, we had Christian had a good game. I mean, you know, one thing that we do have to get better at, and I kind of preach this to them, our receivers have got to block better. You know, we've got to do a better job on the perimeter blocking because that's huge. That springs long touchdown runs. And so we've got to do a better job. That's got to be one of those things. You know, I've been fortunate. I've coached 3 NFL wide receivers at the collegiate level, and all 3 of them had very similar things in common. And one of the biggest ones is they're all great blockers.
Yeah.
You don't play in the NFL if you don't block. They'll cut you. There's a bunch of guys out there that can run, you know, and catch. You better be able to do those things because they're going to run the football in the NFL.
Right.
And so, you know, that's one of those deals that you got to be able to block on the perimeter.
Well, and it takes those run plays where you're maybe picking up 5-6 yards. You know, if the guys downfield are doing their job, all of a sudden we're springing one for 20. You know, if they're doing their job on the outside.
Yeah.
You know, one guy that was really impressive, we talked to him last week, Barry, is Peyton Jones.
Yeah.
Peyton played a heck of a football game last week from that inside linebacker spot. He's one of those guys where, to me, he's not oversized. You know, I guess in 7A ball, he'd actually kind of be undersized a little bit. He's a junior, and he's going to get a little bit bigger. But he's one of those guys, he's not just a tackle-to-tackle player. He can get outside the box. He can play sideline to sideline.
Yeah, he does a good job, and he's smart. And, you know, that's one of the things. He's very cerebral and understands the game and is getting better every week, you know. I mean, you think he's a senior.
Yeah.
You know, because he had to play so much last year. A bunch of them, you know, I look around, I go, he's just a junior or he's just a sophomore because we played freshman, you know. So I'm excited about some of these young guys for sure.
We'll take a timeout, Coach, and come back with some more special guests and players. We're going to be here till 7. Come out, join us, Local Joes in downtown Albertville. It's the Coach Bert Browne Show here on Power 107.5.
WAVU AM 630. W298BG FM 107.5 Albertville. You've found the power. Power 107.5 FM.
Attention North Alabama, Drew Epperson here with Sand Mountain Toyota. Are you in the market for a new ride? Look no further than Sand Mountain Toyota, where excellence meets affordability. From sleek sedans to powerful trucks and SUVs, each Toyota is a 5-star favorite, and even our pre-owned inventory is guaranteed to exceed your expectations. Come see me or give me a call at 256-878-0789 and say you want to drive with Drew, where customer satisfaction drives me.
Albertville Discount Pharmacy has been providing prescription and healthcare needs to the Sand Mountain area for over 30 years. With 3 pharmacists, Amy Honey, Brett Hogan, and Eddie Campbell, you will feel the confidence their staff provides. They want to be your pharmacy. Phone 256-878-1515 or come by Albertville Discount Pharmacy, your hometown pharmacy at 422 North Broad Street in Albertville.
It's football time in Alabama. The players are hitting the field, the cheerleaders are firing up the crowd, the drum major is striking up the band, and we all stand for the national anthem. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. While you cheer your favorite team this season, I'll be on President Trump's team shaking things up in Washington. When we stand on conservative principles, it's a win for everyone. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress. Attention football fans, this season don't let slow internet make you miss a single touchdown, tackle, or triumph. With our gigabit fiber internet, you get blazing fast speeds that keep you in the game. Stream every play in crystal clear HD. Blitz through online stats and video chat with fellow fans, all with zero lag. Don't fumble your connection, score big with our unbeatable fiber service. Call FTC and get your gigabit fiber internet just in time for the big game. Stay connected, stay ahead, stay unstoppable. Visit farmerstel.com or call us at 866-638-2144. FTC, we keep you connected.
And welcome back to Local Joes of downtown Albertville, the Coach Bert Browne Show. Keep busy placing your order. We'll give Coach a break for a few minutes. Join us every Tuesday here until 7 o'clock. Got a good crowd coming in tonight. John Gladden will be here in a few minutes. Don't let that keep you from listening, though. He'll be here joining us in a few minutes. And I've got some special guests, Keith. Aggies last week, 20 points. We got Hunter Smith, Talik Saint, two of the receivers, and defense. Hunter, you played a little more defense this past Friday, so how'd that feel?
Yeah, it felt really good. I'm really liking I kind of switched positions. I'm playing more down in the box now than over the top, and I'm really liking it so far, so it felt pretty good.
What about playing in the rain? Is that like
oh, no, I really
old
liked
school
it.
there, yeah?
No, yeah, that was my first time ever actually playing in the rain, so like some little miss, and I liked it. It was fun.
It's like backyard football, ain't it, kids?
Exactly.
Yeah, it felt a lot better than what it could feel right now, and you know, it's September, but we played a lot of hot ball games in September. I did notice that you were making a lot more tackles up around the line of scrimmage. You made some plays in the backfield. So is that something where you're blitzing, or is that just something you're actually rolled down and you're playing more of a box spot?
Well, yeah, see, since I'm in the box, I get to blitz a little more.
Yeah.
So the blitzes help out.
We'll start calling you Honey Badger. He don't know who that
there
is
you
either.
go.
He don't know who that is either. No, you had a great game. Like I said, we talked about how many tackles you made earlier, and I bet it helped you a lot. I know you're struggling with an ankle or a knee and ankle, his ankle, and you know, some of these younger guys stepping up playing some offense kind of takes you off the field a little bit there, and you can get rested up and make some plays on defense.
So feels great.
Well, at 20 points, you put 20 points up. The team down by 10 late in the fourth quarter. It's been a while since you've been that close. They had to feel good.
No, yeah, it felt really good. Felt like, you know, it was actually a real competitive ball game, so it did feel pretty good.
What about your teammate sitting across from you? First came in, had a couple of touchdowns.
Oh, I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm really proud. I'm really happy how he played, you know, especially first game being back on the varsity, you know. Couldn't be happier with it.
Seemed like a boost from the entire team as the game went on. 10 points down fourth quarter. You guys played tough, and it seemed like everybody's playing just a little more enthusiasm.
Yeah. See, we feel like everybody really felt like we were in the game more of usual. So everyone's like, all right, you know, we got a chance, so we need to keep playing, you know. So I felt like it really just kept everybody on their toes, let everybody keep playing.
Yeah, momentum in a college football, or college probably too, but high school football,
huge.
It is. It's massive, and you know, when you got a shot and you're in a ball game, it just wakes everybody up. Everybody, even the sideline, you could tell the difference in the sideline. Everybody's in it. Everybody's has got good energy and everything. So really excited as a senior. I know that you were proud of the younger guys for stepping up and making plays, and like Barry said, the guy across from you made a lot of big plays the other night.
He did.
Make you feel like a proud papa a little bit.
No, yeah, exactly. You know, helping him out in practice this week, seeing him go out there and play that good, it's like, you know, made me feel pretty special.
We're talking about Talik Saint. Now, is it safe to say you taught Talik everything he knows as far as receiving?
Exactly. You know, so like I said, first game back, he's a little rusty, you know. I had to help him kick it off.
Well, Talik, I've been talking to these guys about you a little bit. I don't know if you remember when you used to come up to Five Star and come to birthday parties. When they first started Five Star, I was like the PE guy. I would come over there and we'd play touch football. And I said, I got a guy over here and can't nobody get him down. We're playing touch football, much less tackle football. So really excited to get you back out there. How's it feel to get back out and start playing some varsity football?
I feel happy about it. Like, I used to miss it all the time, so I decided to come back out, and then when I had a good game, so happy to be out here.
We're excited. You know, we know you've been doing a lot of things on that JV level, and coaches getting you work back in, you and Trey Bright. But we knew the talent was there and the speed was there, so it was great to see it the other night. How, as that game went on, did you get to feel more and more comfortable playing receiver?
So at the start, I felt really nervous, like it was going to be my first varsity game. But then as the game went on and I had that first touchdown, I started to get more comfortable and felt good out there playing.
What about pass coming to you in the end zone, your chance for the first touchdown of the varsity. Any nerves at all, or did you just go up and let your?
Oh, that throw! I was so nervous. At first, I dropped it, but then I recaught it. And I was happy I did that. I was really excited too.
So as the game went on, it seemed like you got more and more confident as the game went on.
I did. The longer the game went on, I just felt good out there, especially like how I played. I went out there and had 8 catches, so I was super confident.
Well, when you're a young guy, and it's especially your first varsity action, you step out there and you're like, man, I feel like I'm confident in my ability, but do I really belong out here with these guys? You still are a younger guy. You're a 10th grader, right?
Yes, sir.
So you're a younger guy, and then when you start making plays, you get into the ball game. Yeah, the guys are bigger, they're faster, and they're stronger, but it's still football. And you've got ability and you've got confidence in your game, and you could see that as the game progressed. Well, you got less and less nervous. You were just playing ball. But it was a fantastic night. Made some big plays. Trey Brown, we're going to talk coach a little bit. Not Trey Brown. I'm talking about a guy that played basketball in the 90s. Trey Bright came out also. So between you two guys, we're excited about the future right there at a wide receiver position.
Yes, sir.
Serious question, Hunter. As you're on the sideline playing defense now, you're watching the offense for a few minutes. If you notice something that the receivers, maybe you give them a little advice, go over there and you say, hey, I noticed this. You try to help them out a little bit?
Yeah, I try my best to, but a lot of times, since last game, didn't really play offense much in the second half. I was kind of over there making sure because, since I'm walked down in the box more now, it's more of, I have different responsibilities, different fits, It's just a whole different ball game when you're 3 yards from a 380-pound lineman. So I'm not really used to it. So I'm under the 10 a lot of times if I'm not playing offense, trying to, make sure I'm doing everything right.
Now that you're punting, are you getting more confident each game or?
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Never really kicked before, so I'm trying to.
Well, it could have been easy with a wet football, and the other night that didn't help any at all, did it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
The first punt, not traditional holding it with 2 hands. I kind of just catch it, put it down, and drop it down one hand, and I got pretty big hands. Drop the ball as soon as I put it down there. I don't even know how my foot touched it, so it was pretty rough.
Well, finally getting to come back home this Friday night. Know much about Austin? What do you think about them?
They're definitely a good football team, that's for sure. But you also got to think Spartan took them into overtime. So I'm trying to get everybody thinking, Austin's good. Can't take that away from them. But at the same time,
right.
We also were we were down by 10 in the fourth quarter to a team that took them to overtime. So, it's just like, it's a really good team.
How's practice been, coming off that? I know just when Coach was talking to y'all after the ball game, and I was waiting to get an interview for him, you could see the energy level even after the game was still up. How's practice been this week?
It's been good. It's definitely, got everybody in higher spirits, just even, we lost, but, we played a lot better.
Yeah.
It's just we can all see we're doing better. And the fact that we can all see that just makes everybody, have better spirits on practice and, just makes everybody want it more.
Yeah.
Well, we have a third Aggie here next to you. If you don't mind, Hunter, we may have to let you switch seats so we can make it a little more comfortable. And the third Aggie bringing them in. I'm guessing we have offense, defense, and are we talking special teams here, Keith?
Well, he plays special teams. He plays offense. He plays a little bit everywhere. Jordan Laredo, good to have you here tonight, man, and excited. Been excited watching you play ball this year. You having a good time?
Yes, sir. I'm having fun.
But yeah, we really, personally, I like watching you run the ball because you're just a hard-nosed guy, and you can tell you're not afraid of contact at all. Is that something you kind of look for, or is that just you really like lowering your head and kind of running over people?
Yes, sir. Especially being undersized, I definitely feel like people look at me differently. Think they can just run over me pretty much, but I try to show them you can't do that.
You got that lower center of gravity, Barry.
Well, how much did the weight room help you during the summer, during the off season?
The weight room definitely helps a lot, especially with just being smaller in general. Just harder to hit me.
So not just you, but what about the entire team? Can you tell a big difference from last year's team to this year as far as strength and speed? And looks like everybody's bigger, faster, stronger.
Yes, sir. I definitely think in the off season everybody really worked their butts off. and it definitely shows, especially last game, shows our potential, shows what we can really do if we come out to play.
Right. I know you don't want to lose, but you played you down by 10 points late fourth quarter, put up 20 points. Team played much better Friday night. Yeah, that'll make you feel good.
Yes, sir. It definitely feels different because we ain't been in that spot for a while. It just felt good, you know.
So if you had your pick, offense, defense, where would you rather play?
Me personally, I'd rather play offense. I've always wanted to just, run the ball and just really hit somebody and run it up the middle. But I'm going to play wherever they need me to play because I know that's what the team needs.
We love your attitude, love to watch you play because I feel sorry for the defense sometimes because when they're coming through there, you put it on them sometimes, put them on their back. Like Friday night, for instance, against Sparkman.
Yeah, he's tough, and I like watching him go in there and kind of play that H-back, blocking back spot. It's a lot of fun to watch you guys. I wanted to, real quick, before I know we're going to get Dr. Reeves and John on the air, and we're going to let the guys go eat. But while we've got all of you here, I know, Talik, you're a little bit younger, and you're kind of coming on. I know Hunter went way, way back with JJ. I was going to bring JJ up. We haven't talked about him this year yet on the radio show. And is he something that y'all still kind of think about when you're going to a ball game? It's like, hey, we're playing for him. He's not here and he's not able to be with us, in person. I feel like he's probably here in spirit watching you guys. But, being able to just to play and have fun and enjoy that kind of for him. Is that something that y'all think about that before a ball game?
Yes, sir. We definitely do think about that, especially our Florence game because that was our first game without him. So he's definitely, especially for the seniors, he's definitely still with us.
Yeah, that's really cool. I was thinking about that. I know Hunter went back and y'all played Pee Wee ball together, and so that was a tight relationship. But that's just something y'all can lean on throughout the year and just kind of make that guy proud.
All right, Jordan, good luck Friday night, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a quick time out and come back with our more special guest. It's going to be going on until 7 o'clock, Local Joe's, downtown Albertville. The Coach Bert Browne Show here on Power 107.5.
Hi, I'm Randy Jones, your hometown trusted choice insurance agency. Randy Jones and Associates knows the playing field, and we have been proudly serving communities across North Alabama for 46 years. Having the right protection on the field is important. The RJA team of experienced agents will help you find affordable, customized insurance coverage for your family, business, and future. Stop by a local Randy Jones Associates office for a free, no-obligation quote or complimentary policy review.
Autumn savings this week at Foodland Plus in Albertville. Sanderson Farms fresh chicken drumsticks or thighs family pack $1.59 a pound. Preferred Angus beef ribeye steak family pack $10.99 a pound. Family pack fresh ground beef $3.59 a pound. Tony's Pizza, pizzeria style 18 to 20 ounce, 3 for $10. Crystal Geyser Spring Water 32 pack, 3 for $12. Food Club cheese 6 to 8 ounce, selected varieties 5 for $10 at Foodland Plus in Albertville.
Attention North Alabama, Drew Epperson here with Sand Mountain Toyota. Are you in the market for a new ride? Look no further than Sand Mountain Toyota, where excellence meets affordability. From sleek sedans to powerful trucks and SUVs, each Toyota is a 5-star favorite, and even our pre-owned inventory is guaranteed to exceed your expectations. Come see me or give me a call at 256-878-0789 and say you want to drive with Drew, where customer satisfaction drives me.
Albertville Discount Pharmacy has been providing prescription and healthcare needs to the Sand Mountain area for over 30 years. With 3 pharmacists, Amy Honey, Brett Hogan, and Eddie Campbell, you will feel the confidence their staff provides. They want to be your pharmacy. Phone 256-878-1515 or come by Albertville Discount Pharmacy, your hometown pharmacy at 422 North Broad Street in Albertville.
Downtown Albertville, the Coach Bert Browne Show. Coach will be grabbing him something to eat in a few minutes. Got some special guests. One of them is John Gladden joining us. Hey, John.
Hey. Glad to be here. Sorry, Barry. I had to go do a little school business, and I thought when I was over there doing some school business, I'd grab the main man in charge and bring him with me.
Let's go ahead and welcome him to the show. Dr. Reeves, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, thank you for having me. Yeah, looking forward to this. We ran over. Now, when I say run over, do you think we were in the car or do you think we actually ran?
Car. Yeah, I know John. He ain't running nowhere.
We ain't running nowhere.
So thanks for joining us tonight. So So what about the school year so far? Off to a good start?
We are off to a great start. So I've been doing this for almost 28 years. This is probably the best start that I've been associated with. Again, you commend your staff, principals, everybody involved in the summer and getting ready, to start the year off. So, yeah, we're off to a great start. Appreciate the staff.
Go ahead, John.
I was just sitting here watching Coach eat, like, man,
John,
that smells good.
I'm going to say, John's focused on that plate of ribs over there.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's been phenomenal working with Dr. Reeves and being on the Board of Education and seeing his plan and the direction that we have now for our schools and our students. And literally, Dr. Reeves, I think you would say it now with a state-of-the-art band facility, a state-of-the-art AIA, our new Innovation Academy.
Absolutely.
Our indoor facility for our athletes and workout area. And that's just kind of the amenities coupled around a lot of great schools with great administrators and great teachers. I mean, what is it like as a superintendent when you drive around and you see, in my opinion, and I'm not the superintendent, but that there is something literally for every student, no matter where you are now and where you want to be for your career.
Absolutely. We offer a lot of programs, and that's why we have a lot of kids enrolling. You drive around the campuses, it looks like we've got a small university at the high school, when you look at the facilities. But then you go to the elementary school and you look at that facility and you think, wow, that's awesome too. But we do offer a lot of programs that many school systems cannot. We do have those resources to do that. But, yeah, it's nice. It makes you be it makes you proud. I mean, it really does.
Well, I know, personally, I know one thing that I've heard a lot of parents that are really excited about, and it's just the way that you get information out, how you personally will make videos and they'll be on social media, and you put, if there's going to be a snow day or if you've got this going on, that going on, it's something that you're the face of the system and you're out there and you're communicating directly with parents. I think it's a great thing.
Correct. I appreciate you sharing that, but you cannot over-communicate. We were very close to sending something out even Friday afternoon. Did you lose me there?
No, you're good. You're good.
Friday afternoon regarding the threats, the indirect and direct threats happening, throughout the state. Just to let parents know, hey, our heightened awareness, it has increased. We know what's going on. You want parents to feel at ease, when they send their kids to school, and that's what we were trying to get across. We did that a couple of times during the week, wanted to do that Friday, and then we backed off because we're hoping it was dying down at that point, which it has, and hopefully will for the remaining weeks and months of the school year.
Yeah, just for a few moments ago, you actually had this part as a part of our board meeting, commending the SROs, commending the Albertville Police Department. Can you kind of reiterate
Marshall County
that?
Sheriff Department.
Yeah, and can you reiterate what you said, just so our parents and everyone knows that we take safety of your students as serious as Fort Knox?
First of all, it's a shared responsibility. It's not just a school system principal or teacher that needs to report. Parents, we need their help as well. So if they see something, they need to say something. They need to call the schools immediately. That is very important. But here's, some of the and again, I want to thank the SROs, Marshall County Sheriff's Department, APD as well. We were in conversation with them throughout the week. We take safety very seriously, as we should, with all of our kids, with all of our staff. But the staff did a great job last week. Here's the situation that maybe parents don't think of from time to time. Let's say we get a report on Monday of a direct or indirect threat. All right, the first thing we do, we take it seriously because we don't know if it's credible or not. We're going to treat all of them as credible until we find out otherwise. So we get that report on Monday. Okay, we ran that rabbit hole down, and all is good. But let's say Tuesday comes around. Now that information has hit another student. And now we find ourselves chasing that same information down just to make sure that it's not a new threat, that it, possibly is the older threat. So we have that. Sometimes we're, for lack of a better way of putting it, we're chasing our tails based on the same threat from an earlier date.
But in your defense of doing that, you have to be better safe than sorry, as the old adage is.
Absolutely. We've got to investigate every single one. Again, I go back to it is a shared responsibility with parents and staff. And, you see something, you hear something, please report it immediately.
Yeah, and I taught in the system for 10 years before I changed professions and just became a radio guy and a chicken farmer. And student safety was always number one, and that's something that that as a teacher, and I worked in all the schools in the system except for 3rd and 4th grade, and you've got a lot of really good teachers in the system, and that's their priority too. Is safety number one? Yeah,
great
you
staff.
really do. Let's change gears a little bit and let's talk a little ball from another night. So you're at the ball game. I got to talk to you and Coach Mr. Hudgens, I guess. Now you're a former coach, correct?
I am junior high football coach. Got 11 years under my belt, and coached junior high basketball and track.
So the other night, the Aggies hanging in there with a really, really talented Sparkman team, taking them to the 4th quarter. Those coaching juices start flowing a little bit with you?
They did. I love being on the field. Now, I had to abandon my wife and my kids up in the stands, but that's really and truly where I want to be, is on the field. Not to coach or question or second guess or any of those type things, but there's just something special about being part of a football program. I guess I get to do a little bit of that, even though I'm not a part of the program. But, those are some of my fondest memories, because I got to, be there on every Friday night with the Guntersville program when I was an employee there, when I was a coach and teacher there. And I missed, the Friday night games. And just walking down onto the field and experiencing that again, that was nice. And seeing the kids compete and get after it, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Well, and that's something that I've, when I stepped away from coaching, getting to join these guys, other than getting hanging out with some really good guys on Friday night, some guys I consider best friends, still being a part of that football Friday night tradition is kind of what gets you to coming back and staying with it. But I've talked to Coach about this, and we talked about it in the post game last Friday night. Man, you talking about a gutty football team. Yep. I mean, our guys have guts. They've been through the ringer the last couple of years, and Coach is trying to turn that around. But you're talking about a team full of kids that's got some darn guts to them. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yep, certainly enjoyed it. Now, you asked me about coaching. Just a few weeks ago, I was volunteered by my wife to coach flag football. So my apologies to you guys last week. I told Coach Brown I would come last week, but I had football practice, flag football. That was our second practice, I believe. And then we had canceled tonight. We had a board meeting, and John and I were running over from the board meeting. But I'm now involved in coaching flag football 8 and under. And then I went to watch my son at basketball tryouts a couple of weeks ago, walked in as a dad and came out as the 2nd grade basketball coach.
Nice.
So I learned my lesson there too. Yeah. So, but no, it's a lot of fun. You get on the court, you get on the field with the kids, and then all of a sudden it just comes back to you coaching, so.
Let me ask you, Friday night we finally get to return home. Your first full season as part of Albertville football. I don't think there's a more beautiful setting than when you're kicking off at 7 o'clock and you see the sun setting over behind the visitors' bleachers. I think it's the most beautiful program in the state, in my opinion.
Absolutely. It is a beautiful setting. I know I get to hear from some parents and staff from time to time, hey, I really wish the home side was on the other side. I had nothing to do with that. So, but no, it is a beautiful setting. I think it was the Fort Payne game. I looked out, and I'm sure there were some Auburn fans that really liked what they were seeing that particular night. But you're right. It's a beautiful setting, great football atmosphere, environment. So looking forward to Friday night.
We're glad to have you with us. I think you may be even joining us in the booth for a few minutes Friday night.
Yes, sir. I'll see y'all Friday night at halftime.
We'll let you give John a rest and take his spot.
There you go.
That's right.
Do a little color.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you Friday night.
Yep. Thank you for having me. Anytime. Thank y'all.
We'll take a time out and come back with more from Coach Brown. It's the Coach Bert Browne Show here on Power 107.5.
It's football time in Alabama. The players are hitting the field, the cheerleaders are firing up the crowd, the drum major is striking up the band, and we all stand for the national anthem. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. While you cheer your favorite team this season, I'll be on President Trump's team shaking things up in Washington. When we stand on conservative principles, it's a win for everyone. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
Hi, I'm Randy Jones, your hometown trusted choice insurance agency. Randy Jones and Associates knows the playing field, and we have been proudly serving communities across North Alabama for 46 years. Having the right protection on the field is important. The RJA team of experienced agents will help you find affordable, customized insurance coverage for your family, business, and future. Stop by a local Randy Jones Associates office for a free, no-obligation quote or complimentary policy review.
Autumn savings this week at Foodland Plus in Albertville. Sanderson Farms fresh chicken drumsticks or thighs family pack $1.59 a pound. Preferred Angus beef ribeye steak family pack $10.99 a pound. Family pack fresh ground beef $3.59 a pound. Tony's Pizza, pizzeria style 18 to 20 ounce, 3 for $10. Crystal Geyser spring water 32 pack, 3 for $12. Food Club cheese 6 to 8 ounce, selected varieties 5 for $10 at Foodland Plus in Albertville.
Attention football fans, this season don't let slow internet make you miss a single touchdown, tackle, or triumph. With our gigabit fiber internet, you get blazing fast speeds that keep you in the game. Stream every play in crystal clear HD. Blitz through online stats and video chat with fellow fans, all with zero lag. Don't fumble your connection, score big with our unbeatable fiber service. Call FTC and get your gigabit fiber internet just in time for the big game. Stay connected, stay ahead, stay unstoppable. Visit farmerstel.com or call us at 866-638-2144. FTC, we keep you connected.
Welcome back to Local Joes in downtown Albertville. It's Tuesday here until 7 every Tuesday. Come out and join us next week as we talk Aggie football. Had some Aggie players, the superintendent, Coach Brand finishing up his food, delicious barbecue here at Local Joes. Now, getting ready for this week, John, we've been talking about the Sparkman game. Any thoughts from you on the Sparkman game before we move on to the Austin game this week?
Oh, gosh, I think Keith nailed it a while ago. I mean, just an absolutely absolutely gutty effort by our team. I mean, going in there for 3 quarters, and we even talked about it when Sparkman came out of the half. And, you know, when you look at it, the Aggies are behind, but then get some positive things going. And Sparkman over there thinking that the game was over, and our gutty performance got it down to a 10-point game going into the 4th quarter. And, Coach, man, we could have used just one more break right there, because we kind of had momentum coming out of the 3rd quarter. And if we could have just got a break, but unfortunately they were able to get back on the board. I think if we get that one more break, I'm not saying we win that game, but it's a lot more interesting in the 4th quarter.
Yeah. Well, you know, they hit us on an ISO and cut it back, and we had the perfect blitz into that backside, and our sophomore defensive end ran upfield, and our sophomore out nickel was blitzing, ran up the field, and created a hole you could drive a truck through. And that's one of those things, if we do what we're coached to do, we hit that for a 2-yard loss instead of a 45-yard touchdown. So, you know, those are little things that we talk about all the time. And on Saturday mornings, I make cut-ups and show the kids. And, you know, I made some cut-ups of that stuff and cut-ups of our touchdowns and things like that. So, you know, it's just learning every week. That's what we've got to do.
And the thing is, it seems as if what I can see from week 1 to week 2 to week 3, offensively and defensively, seems to be a little bit of growth. Like some of those younger guys, once again, you know as well as I do, football's a repetition game, just over and over and seeing it over and over again. And now it's like some of those guys it's starting to click a little bit more with them a little bit now.
Yeah, defensively it is. Offensively, we're still very young and really got to understand the pace of the game. You know, I mean, we're starting to play some dudes up front now. Florence, Sparkman has a guy that's going to probably play on Sundays in the NFL. I think he's that skilled. And there's some dudes coming to town Friday. So it's once you get into 7A in our region, you got some different cats on each side of the ball that are going to be. Some of them going to be playing Sundays.
Yeah, when you look at Austin, I mean, they got 2 defensive edge rushers that are both about 6'1", 6'2", about 225, 235 pounds, and come off the corner very quick. But I want to flip that around, Coach, because in my opinion, the offense, or actually keep it right there. You know, the offensive line going to be facing, in my opinion, I think that this is the biggest and fastest at the same time defensive front that they're going to see, and 7 that they're going to see in the box. Once again, this week, offensive line play is going to be important. How do you try to double those guys, or what do you try to do up front with Coach Nelson?
We've got to double them because they're big, strong, and fast, and so we've got a lot of duo stuff, and hopefully, we're working on some stuff today. And how does that happen? In our practice, where we're supposed to be doubling a guy and we don't. So that's why you practice. You try to get that stuff right and ready, and they are undoubtedly the biggest football team we've played so far. Their right tackle's 370.
Yep.
And their right guard's 340. So they're tiny kids.
A bunch of pro wrestlers.
Well, when you look at them, I mean, the two offensive guards already have college offers, and guys, the two offensive tackles. And when you look at these guys, one of them is 6'4", 270 as a sophomore. The other one is 6'3", 300 as a sophomore. And both of those have colleges already looking at them. They can't talk to them yet because they're sophomores, but they already have colleges looking at them. So
yeah, they'll be playing on Saturdays. I mean, we just got to go. We're going to move the front a lot. We're not going to stay stationary because it wouldn't be fair to us if we try to get our kids to hold a gap. We're going to have to move and do those kind of things and hope we beat people to gaps.
Coach, with those tackles, granted they're big, right? And when you watch them on film, they pretty decent footwork getting out to where they need to get. But what can you do, I guess, defensively? Because they're still sophomores. I mean, they're still 10th graders. What do you do with say, a Hunter or outside linebacker? Can you do anything with those guys, even though they're sophomores, to try to confuse them a little bit? Maybe they step out, you blitz underneath them. What do you look at that with Coach Martin?
We just got to move the front, and we've they got a good quarterback, good running back, good receivers, very well coached football team. Coach Perkins does a great job, in my opinion, but we definitely have to move the front, and we can't sit in there, and we can't get beat on the edge. I mean, last week we were coming inside at our defensive end position and giving up the edge, and we can't do that this week for sure.
There's I'm sitting here thinking about something, guys, and it's something Coach said, and it's crazy to even say it again, and make sure everybody at home's catching this. When he says, you hear a lot of people say, well, we're going to play a guy that's going to play on Saturday. We play guys that are going to play on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's Sunday. That's the big boys. That's the NFL. Yeah. And there ain't no doubt that kid from Spartan's got that ability. Yeah. But you can't – there's not a school around us that's having to play guys that what we're going to see. And Austin is as big and as good as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. It's and one thing me and you talked about after the ball game, and we was kind of a call to arms to all the Aggie faithful, is let's fill that stadium up Friday night, and let's stay from bell to bell. Okay, I want it full in the end of the fourth quarter, being there for the football players, for the cheerleaders, for the band members. Stay the entire time and help support these guys, because it's a quite an undertaking to go against some of these teams when you're, let's be honest, they're just bigger, stronger, faster than you are.
Yeah, I mean, we're just so young still.
Yeah.
We got eight seniors, and we're not very big. Our size is in our youth. We've got 7th, 8th, 9th graders that have got good size in that group, and some of our 10th graders. But it's coming. Our size is coming. So, but yeah, I hope people come out, because these kids have worked their tails off, and there's nothing like a hometown crowd to help you get a little bit of more energy and motivation and all that good stuff. So we're going to need everybody. This is a good football team. I mean, they're undefeated. They're undefeated for a reason. They're good. So, and I think last week we grew up some, and, it's always good when you can score along a big play. Give you some momentum and give you some belief, and that's what happened to us last week.
What about offensively? We've seen some good quarterbacks this year. How does Austin's quarterback compare to some of the others?
He's pretty dang good. I mean, he can move around and throw the ball, and he's got some big dudes up front protecting him, and good receivers. So, they've got a good football team, and their quarterback's pretty good. And, it would be nice to have a couple turnovers early, get some momentum going, maybe hit a big play for a touchdown, and maybe return a kick for a touchdown. We were close. We just can't turn around blocking. We got to always go ahead. That's what I'm constantly telling the kids. Anything you're doing, offense or kicking game, never turn around and look. If you miss a block, go find somebody else.
It's let's talk about a little bit about matchups. With and John's watched film, and obviously you have with their defensive backs versus our receivers. We've got some guys that have really come on. Talik did. Really excited about Trey Bright, but man. Dez, he's outrunning some of these guys that are big time. These guys are going to play on Saturday. Talk about that matchup between our receivers and CJ, their quarterback, versus their defensive backs.
Well, Dez had a real good game. That first interception CJ threw, I kind of told Dez, that's on you. He was running a hitch route, and it wasn't a very good hitch route. And that was a dang good corner playing right there, and he came and got that ball. And, but that's a learning thing. That's something that you learn from, and Dez will learn from that. When you run that hitch route, you got to act like you're running a 40-yard dash and press that guy off of you.
You got to run up his ankle.
Yeah, and so, they're very skilled, obviously. Now, Sparkman did take them into overtime, but now that's a huge rival.
Yeah.
They're supposedly, they tell me that that's a big-time rival for those two schools. And so, one of them might have played a little bit better than what they usually play. But, when good things happen to us, we got to capitalize on those good things, That's the thing that we have to do. When we make a big play, we got to capitalize with the football.
Coach, you were talking about a few moments ago that they've got some hosses back there, quarterback and wide receivers. One of the ones that impresses me, and probably, in my opinion, one of the best running backs in all class of football in North Alabama is their running back, Gavin Fuqua. He's going to be playing on Saturdays, no doubt about it. But when you watch him on film, and you and I have looked at the same film because I get to see what you guys see and those cut-ups that you're talking about and the things that you're doing that. Just talk about, he's one of those he's kind of low to the ground, gets hid behind those big guys, but, man, just a powerful, explosive running back.
Yeah. When you got them big old boys laying on the defensive line all ball game, he just gets better in the fourth quarter because when you got those massive human beings blocking people, it weighs on the defensive line, and second half is when I think he hits his stride because he's got a bunch of guys that are tired that he's going up against, and they're tired of getting hit by 300-pounders.
And one thing that I saw, now correct me if I'm wrong, because I watched they played Hartselle, and then they played Muscle Shoals, and they played Sparkman. And tell me if I missed it, but I picked it up in the Sparkman game. They're actually letting him go back now and run a little bit of wildcat, direct snap at him.
Yes, they are. We worked on that today.
I was going to say, but they didn't do that in the first two games, did they?
I did not see that.
Okay, good. Then I didn't miss anything.
But I think probably to limit their quarterback taking some shots, they're probably doing that. And, so I hope they don't do it.
Because listen, Barry, on that film, the coach will tell you when they direct snap it to him, it's like student body right, student body left, and he's talking about you get those big bodies headed to the right or headed to the left. He just waits and waits and waits, and he hides. I tell you who he reminds me of, and correct me if you think I'm wrong. Do you remember Auburn's running back Trey Mason when he was there?
Yeah.
He kind of gets hit, and the next thing you know, boop, he pops out the back end and he's gone.
Yep. He's a good one now. He's strong, and we're gonna have to wrap him up. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall task, and like I said, we've been talking about how hard our guys play, and we're just going. I know y'all are going to work on it to give the best you got and show up and play hard and do what we can do. I did want to brag. We hadn't talked a ton about CJ from last week. I thought when he got in the groove, I thought he threw he surprises me, only being a freshman, and he's not a big guy.
No.
But he's got a darn good arm on him.
Yes, he does.
And he can throw the ball, but then there's some of those times where he's throwing like post routes, where he's throwing drag and stuff like that, and he can put a ball on the money. So I'm really excited about what he's going to be able to turn into one day.
That touchdown he threw to Dez, that big old boy that I think might play on Sundays, was in his face.
Yeah.
And, me and Ken talked about it. Ken played in the NFL at quarterback. I played Division I quarterback, and we both said, I don't know if I'd have been able to complete that. Seeing that, he was bearing down on him, and he stuck that ball down the field 45 yards on the money.
Yep.
And, CJ's just getting better and better. And I tell you, we've got some kids in the 8th grade that are real good quarterbacks that are going to push CJ. So and I think our 7th graders, our 6th and 5th graders, we've got some kids that can throw the football at all those levels that are going to be good. And people, if you've got a young quarterback that can throw it right now, just imagine how good he's going to be through the years. You probably want to come catch passes with that guy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one thing I've tried to do in the high school is recruit kids in our school and say, hey, you need to come play football. You want to catch balls, and we need all the athletes that can play.
Yeah.
The AHSAA, they come out with their stats every week, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I looked at that this morning, but CJ's in the top 15 or top 12, actually, I think, of 7A quarterbacks in terms of passing yards so far. So, and I think some of that, I think you would agree, some of that is we have to do that to offset our running game that's we haven't really been able to get on track yet. But still, when you're a freshman quarterback and your name's getting mentioned with some of these guys at Thompson and Hoover and that guy up there at Bob Jones that's like all world already, get to see him in a few weeks. That I'm really impressed with what CJ has done, growth from 8th grade to 9th grade. And once again, I can't wait to see him continue in that maturation process.
Well, he doesn't even have a learner's permit yet. He's not close to even driving a car yet. He's doing all this.
No, he's, he's just a kid. He is a kid. And he reminds me of that once a day. Usually he'll say something, I go, and he's a freshman, and Ken said coming home from the game the other night, he smacked himself in the head and said, this kid's just a freshman.
Yeah.
You just forget about that. And me and Ken forget about that because when we're coaching him, you're on him about something that he's done, and you got to remember he's just a freshman.
One of the greatest stories Coach told me one day, we're out there at practice and said that he's out there and he's coaching CJ and he's talking him up and he's doing all this stuff, and says CJ looks at him and said, just ask him, Coach, did you get a new truck? But it's once again, that's a sophomore or a freshman for you.
I can totally see him. How the 4th, 5th grade, 6th grade, some of these middle school guys, they'll walk around and like do the what's the dance? Everybody's doing the Nintendo game dance. What's it called? The Fortnite dance or whatever. Yeah. I can so totally see him in the middle of like a quarterback meet, just break out and do some kind of crazy dance because he's 14 years old.
Yeah, it's amazing. It is amazing. He's done what he's done, really.
Coach, we're out of time. Hey, we appreciate you joining us every Tuesday. Looking forward to Friday night.
Well, I am too. And I hope everybody turns out and supports us and supports these kids and cheers us on.
Yeah, and Coach, here's the thing. Nobody, I think, in the world really gave us a shot on the road at Sparkman.
Yeah.
And going into the 4th quarter, one more break, and that's a different game. We're only down by 10, so that's the reason why I love the game of football.
Yeah, and it's greatness. And, I do want to say thank you to Local Joes for having us here and for you guys for what you do. And, I want to give a shout-out to Corinth Baptist Church. They fed our team Sunday night, and I'm telling you what, they put out a spread.
I've heard.
I didn't fall asleep till about 3 the other morning because I ate so dang much.
Was you miserable full?
No, I was miserable full. But it was good in my mouth, buddy. It was unbelievable. I'm telling you. I'm going to see if they'll invite me out there about once a week to eat.
What you got to figure out is when Fellowship Sunday is and show up for church.
That's right.
Well, Coach, as always, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you Friday night.
Thank you all.
All right, come back and join us here next Tuesday. It's the Coach Bert Browne Show. We'll be back here Tuesdays from 6 to 7, and on the air coming up Friday, 6:30 Aggie pregame show kickoff at 7. So once again, we'll see you next week here at Local Joe's in downtown Albertville here on Power 107.5.
It's football time in Alabama. The players are hitting the field, the cheerleaders are firing up the crowd, the drum majors striking up the band, and we all stand for the national anthem. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. While you cheer your favorite team this season, I'll be on President Trump's team shaking things up in Washington. When we stand on conservative principles, it's a win for everyone. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
WAVU AM 630. W298BG FM 107.5 Albertville. You've found the power. Power 107.5 FM.